Time's up. Let's do this.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. It's currently 2:21 p.m. and we are more than half an hour late. But that's because we had a bit of a problem in the second round of this Swiss qualifier. But anyway, now you're looking at BlizzCon Community Qualifier Thailand. And I'm Babael, joining me today is Katips. Man, how are you doing?
I'm doing well. We're trying to deal with some of the delay that we're having right now. We apologize to the viewers. Of course, it's out of our control when Warrior plays against Priest or Priest plays against Paladin. And unfortunately, due to the nature of Swiss rounds, we're going to have to wait for all the matches to finish before we can progress into the brackets. So we were just waiting on one last match from the last round. And right now we're just setting up. And I believe we are set up now with our screens. And we are going right into it. We have Freese against Loveless. Can you describe the board? Babael, who is on the top and who is on the bottom?
Now we still haven't really gotten in yet. I'm still waiting for them to finish the mulligan first.
Okay.
And effective, there we go. Alright, good stuff. So there is a bit of a problem in terms of the stream. And I heard that I'm having some drop frames, but it should be solved right now. Okay, so we're gonna have on the bottom half of this board Freese, and Freese is gonna be playing as a Shaman, and that's pretty refreshing. And Paladin on the top half, and Loveless playing Paladin on the top half as well as on the left hand side. And as you can see on both sides, the hand looks pretty disgusting for Loveless. Again, no early gameplay whatsoever. For Freese, it's pretty good. Good answers, some good lightning bolt, as well as a pretty decent earth shock. Two of that with flame tongue totem. What do you think?
And well, I just want to point out as well that these are both legend players. We can see the burnt toast card backs. And as you mentioned, early game for both players is kind of non-existent. Of course, Freese can play into Flame Tongue Totem and start activating his totems for offense. Unfortunately, that's not going to help so much with the AOP in play. That's going to draw cards for Loveless. So right now, this early game, it's going to be a lot of waiting. I think it's going to start. The game will actually start getting exciting maybe turn 5, turn 6, when the for Freese at least the Azure Drake comes into play, and he does have a lot of removal as you mentioned. So right now, yeah, go ahead.
Alright, by the way, there is no ban against chatting with your opponent, so Freese just gonna say hi to Loveless there. And effectively, well, there is the AOP there, and Lightning Bolt's gonna kill that. You know what's the funny thing about the chat? I think if they chat in Thai, no one can understand what's going on, so
that's right.
Okay, he's just gonna let him have one card, which is good. The Paladin right now in the early game needs the card draw advantage, and he draws in the lower tab. So remind me, Katips, which side are you watching?
I'm watching Freeze's side right now.
Fantastic. So Loveless, I'm actually gonna have to cover most of Loveless cards there. He does have the Sunwalker, Senjin Shieldmaster, a shit ton of taunts there, and effectively a really strong iron wall of Loveless that Freese cannot go through.
Yep, so Freese is running what looks to be the new Naxxramas Shaman, which is Reincarnate, Ancestral Spirit, Ancestral Healing, which is gonna be, I'm not sure if he's gonna be playing like the Earth Elemental version with a lot of taunts that keep coming back. I've seen versions with Stalag and Fugin for the Thaddeus value. I've seen Sylvanas in this kind of deck. So it's still, we haven't seen all of the win conditions yet for Freese, but at the moment he has drawn into his first Reincarnate. And like I said, it's going to be a bit of a slow going for both players until up until this point. So turn 6 for Loveless, he's going to start to be able to cast his Sunwalker. And for Freese, he's a little bit dry in options because he locked himself out of 1 mana for from the last turn, so he can't play his Azure Drake yet. I'm sorry, my mistake. It lagged out on my screen. Okay, so we do see the Freese having with the Azure Drake now.
Yeah, and I would like to mention that the Kodo there actually just killed off the Flame Tongue, which is a huge deal for Loveless. So here comes the Outdoor Peacekeeper. I don't like this play because that's only a 4/4. You're not really gonna have to deal with that right now. Effectively, Azure Drake's main function is to just provide the Shaman with extra spell power, so you need to kill it off. And you can do so, you know, if you can do so, you would love to do it with the True Silver Champion, but he doesn't have that. So he doesn't want to blow Consecration as well. In fact, he cannot do that because of the Eldor Peacekeeper. And now it's only going to be a 1/1. Really, he wants to protect the Kodo and keep the momentum going for Loveless. I feel like it's not really required. You're up against Shaman, and yes, there might be a lightning storm that could have killed the entire board, which is why he did the Eldor there, just to make sure that the 3 and 4 don't die. But if he gets a top spell totem, he can still do the same thing. Plus the healing totem now is going to heal. But guess what? Consecration from Loveless is really going to be a huge deal for him right now.
Yeah, that's right. So Consecration is going to wreck Freeze's board pretty good, and at the moment that's going to leave him with 2 of the Feral Spirits. I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm just a little bit lagged at the moment. But yeah, so Loveless can. So how do you feel about the defense of a Control Paladin in the face of all the removals from Shaman? So we mentioned that Loveless has a lot of taunts. So he has a Sunwalker. Most likely he has a Tyrion down the line. Probably running Sludge Belchers as well. How do you feel the chances of a Shaman with all of his removals with something like Earth Shock that gives a lot of value with its silence? How do you feel between the matchup?
I'm starting to see the value in Loveless play with the Eldor Peacekeeper being, thrown out so early. That's effectively going to be Eldor running into 2 Feral Spirit, and also the fact that Ikoto is still alive and will do its due diligence here. Okay, sorry, True Silver Champion top deck. Okay, gonna have to give it for his RNG there. So I really like Loveless because now he's having absolute board control. For Freese, he's just not getting the draws that he wants. Yes, he's got Hex, but he's not gonna Hex the Kodo. That's just a freaking Kodo. There's also the Earth Shock element come to play. Flame Tongue unfortunately got addressed a little bit too early for him, and he doesn't really have the ability to trade well. The Ooze is really gonna break Loveless' heart, but it again is not really gonna help Freeze consolidate his board position at all. And that's what I feel is his biggest problem for Freeze, because Freeze does have Leroy Jenkins, but he doesn't have his full combo and he's looking for that.
Yeah, that's right. So he lost his Azure Drake. It could have taken out with a Spell Totem, it could have taken out the 2/3 Harvest Golem, but unfortunately that's not going to work for him anymore. So I think, oh gosh, it's a bit of a bad position for Freeze right now. I'm not sure if he can put up some sort of offense. Like you said, Loveless does have the board control at the moment. He's going to sacrifice his Harvest Gold to take out the Ooze, bringing out his damaged Golem. I think he doesn't want to let this totem survive, so he should probably take care of that. Okay, that's good. And yeah, Loveless with the board control. Even with these few minions, Freeze is going to have to spend actual spells to get rid of them, unlike if he had a Lightning Storm that could clear them out, which would not give him that much value anyway. And yeah, so Loveless having with a full board control, nice big hand for Loveless also. And Freeze just does not have any minions to deal with this. Even with so few minions on the side of Loveless, he doesn't have any answers. And now he's just going to get locked out by Lotheb also.
Yeah, well, Lotheb does provide Lightning Storms, mana cost is just about 8. So if you get a top spell totem there, he might still use it. But that said, he doesn't, like both of us had mentioned before, there is nothing much Freeze can do here. Can go for the Flame Tongue, but that's really just gonna die. And he's just gonna have to pass with 8 mana. That's a very big turn that effectively is really just gonna come back and haunt him. Loveless on the flip side just top deck Ysera.
Everything's going well for Loveless. He can just drop down. I don't know if he should be dropping Ysera now, knowing that no Earth Shocks have been played, but it will cause a bit of tempo for his side. I think he should just maintain his board position and just keep on.
I like the Sunwalker.
Yeah, Sunwalker is good. So Freeze is probably going to want to Earth Shock that one.
Oh wait, he gets Baron River there. Do you think? Nope. That he needs to clear the taunt first, and he's looking like he's gonna die. So,
that's very
Lightning
unfortunate.
Storm and Hex. I think Hex and Lightning Storm. We don't have an option here.
Yep, totally agree. And let's not forget, Freeze is down to 11 health, so not exactly the best position for him to be in right now.
Oh, would Loveless be so kind to lay on hands Freeze? You think?
I don't think the sportsmanship would extend that much.
So Ysera is gonna come out, and Freeze is gonna be mana locked for 2 next turn. He's gonna have 8. He doesn't have the full combo, and again, Loveless going for board control. He dreams the Ysera Awaken.
Okay, that's pretty much the end for Freeze, because as we all know, a big weakness of Shaman, not able to heal themselves, don't generally run Earthen Ring. Farseer is one of the few heals available to a Shaman, so if you get low in health, it's a pretty much done deal. And as we can see, Freeze is just going to give that one up. Just not drawing, getting Yeti in turn 12. That's ridiculous. He had no minions to defend himself with except for the Feral Spirit. So that's pretty unfortunate for the side of Freeze.
Yeah, well, just bad luck all over. But in general, what I'd like to point out is that that was a pretty good series between both of them. I think the Shaman actually had a good fighting chance. Do know it's a BO3. So with that said, also just like to clarify, if you see some screen lags, it's not your connection. It could be. It's not our connection. It's more towards the fact that the players are having some connection issues. Do note that the average upload speed in Thailand is between 5 megabytes per second to 10. And that's not within the advisable stream range, but they're still doing this just so that they can, you guys can have a show to watch, something post next drama. So we're gonna see Rogue, and this looks like it's the good old standard Miracle Rogue coming up from Freeze. What do you think?
Good old standard gold Miracle Rogue. That's a gold Van Cleave right there. Very nice.
That's a gold Valera as well. So it's
Okay.
all golden, golden
Freeze-
coin, which means that the whole deck is gold. Wow.
So Freeze is gonna go. This looks like his main. I'd like to think this is his main deck. So saving this for his second game, probably feels like he has a better chance against Paladin. So how do you feel about the chances of Miracle Rogue against a Healadin or a Tauntadin like this?
Well, Rogue really... Okay, against a Healadin, I think Rogue actually has a pretty low chance, unless they get like God Draw and finish the game by turn 8. Most of Paladin's heal only kicks in by turn 8, 9, and 10. Given the fact that you're Guardian of Kings and you need to draw one of those by turn 7, Lay on Hands is really not going to save you. Lower Tap is a really good counter against Miracle Rogue, which is also now in the hand of Loveless there. So it's really going to be up to synergy there. But of course, Freese here doesn't have the best hand. He doesn't have to catch his son. Still 4/4 not found. Needs to address his engine. It's going to take some beating there. But Edwin Van Cleef is going to be a bit of a problem here. The only bad news for Freese is that there is humility and a Kodo.
Oh boy, the Destructor combo, the Legend Killer, Humility and Kodo, is gonna come out now for Loveless. He's gonna take out Van Cleef, go home, back to your cave, back to your ship. Oh, he's not gonna do it.
He doesn't have the mana for that. Not this turn, next turn. Yes, he's definitely gonna kill Van Cleef, but not now. The thing about Loveless is I think he was expecting Freeze to play Miracle Rogue. This looks like a hard counter. Holy Light, really? It's a Healadin, it's got Kodo, it's got double equality. It's really looking like it wants to deal with the Gadget Sun. All he needs really is just something that's like a Pyromancer, something that's like Consecration, and he will have the answer. He's so worried right now because it's turn 5. If Freeze does have the coin, but looking at all these mouse clicks, I think he knows Freeze doesn't have Gadget Sun.
And I should, Loveless should take note. He just used Shiv to try and draw something, so that should tell him something that Freeze does not have his Auctioneer yet, that he's trying to draw into his combo. And that should give him a good signal that he's in a good position, that he can just put up some sort of defense and try and outdraw Freeze, try to get the better hand, try to get the better board control, and put up some defense in time before the combo comes out.
Yeah, so Kodo is going to kill Van Cleef, and Loveless is just going to pass after that. Freeze draws in the second SI agent. He still hasn't found his Gadget Sun yet. There's also no concealed, so effectively it's going to heal up. He's just gonna buy some time, trade in for the Kodo there, and effectively the board still slightly favoring Freeze, and Loveless he has double equality, but we all know equality really is just for Gadget Sun. There's nothing else there. It's turn 7. He gets the big Guardian of King, knowing that Rogue has got no taunt. He's gonna play Black Knight, which I really like, but it's not really gonna be helpful in his deck, I feel.
Yep. So Freeze will have the options to remove Black Knight very easily. He's probably gonna possibly deadly poison and sacrifice one of his 3/3s. I'm not so sure. How do you feel about him going straight for face right now?
No, I don't like that. Really, you're up against a Paladin. He's at 28, which means that you're holding back all the heal mechanic. Maximum damage with Leroy Jenkins combo could deal up to, I think, 28 or 30. I don't think it's 30, I think it's 28. And that's like Leroy with some Cold Blood at the end. That's like 8 plus 6, 12, 18. So that's 26, minus any form of damage on the board. So that's the maximum that Leroy can do in one turn. Going for face here really just forces the Paladin to heal. He's at 25, I think, seeing how the SI agent just swacked his face there. So he can always Holy Light, he can Guardian of Kings, but you're just going to encourage him to play stuff like that when you lower his health. And that's not what you want.
Yep. So Loveless is just gonna play a value minion. He's gonna overheal for 1, but that's all right. That's still a 5/6 that
Cold
Freese
Light.
now has to deal with.
Wow,
Cold
he
Light.
runs Oracle. You gotta be kidding me.
Okay.
Gadget Sun
Okay, there we go.
Auctioneer. Look at that, sir. He's finally here. But he doesn't have Conceal. He needs to find a way to protect that. It's probably gonna die. He's gonna be Preparation first. And Cold second one comes out here. Effective is just gonna eviscerate the Guardian of Kings. Gets it a Blade Flurry again. That's gonna be a good call sign to do that, but
Is he gonna coin?
is he gonna prevent fire damage to his face? I think he is gonna coin. Conceal! There we go! Well done!
Preparation, conceal.
Oh, he
and
can
then
draw more.
7
He can
damage
draw
to the
more.
face.
Yep. He's thinking about it right now. He's gonna Cold Blood, he's gonna Preparation Conceal, and he's just gonna take 5 damage like a man, no problem. This is a Paladin, it's not able to deal insane amount of damage over a period of time. So Conceal is gonna be here, he draws in the second eviscerate, but still no Leroy Shadow Step combo. And he gets all the set he wants.
Fantastic.
You're right.
Fantastic solitaire play. Solo player Uno for Freeze. And Loveless just had to sit there and watch his board get eviscerated and cleared. And now here comes Wild Pirate's Equality, so he's going to get some value out of that one. And with no second Auctioneer in hand to Freeze, that's going to clear out his entire board. No minions in play also, and no minions in hand for Freeze. That's going to be tough.
Look at Loethab. That's going to be a free turn for Loveless. Cold Light Oracle comes out to save the day. He's just going to draw more cards. And this has just been such a card drawing spree for Freeze. He finally gets Shadow Step, but he cannot play any of those spells because of Loethab. Wow.
What a nightmare play for Loveless. That's the last thing you want to see us Freeze with no minions in play, all these spells in your hand, and now here comes some defense from the side of Loveless. And Loethab's probably gonna chop off Freeze down to 11. Is he confident that Sunwalker is gonna be able to stop it, or does he wanna clear the board and just ensure some board control? Okay, he's gonna do just that.
He knows that there is a handful from Freeze. He knows that he's not played a single minion, which means he's either got Leroy or just a shit ton of spells. And effectively, that also means he doesn't. He even if he's got Gadget Sun, okay, he's got Leroy now. He's got a shit ton of spells. So I was right on both accounts. But there is still no Gadget Sun. The second one is so important, but he doesn't have that. And he's gonna play Blemish Thalnos. Is effectively gonna look towards sapping away the 4/5. And probably just, okay, it's gonna Blade Flurry instead for 3. It's not gonna try and sap the taunt. That's interesting.
Okay. What's it looking like from the hand of Loveless as a response to that?
Oh, he's got Sludge Belcher. He's got Sunwalker. He's got Holy Light, which I think he just used there in the previous turn. He also has got Consecration, AOP, and a second Wild Pyromancer Equality combo. He's just waiting. This guy is prepared.
I want to see another Sunwalker and just clear out the Azure Drake. Or just gonna go straight for face. Okay. So
I just realized that the overlays are outdated. Loveless is actually up by 1 game. So just to let everyone in the stream know that currently we are at 1-0 in favor for Loveless. Sorry, you were saying?
Yeah, so he just went for face with his existing Sunwalker. Do you think he should start putting up some defense like Sludge Belcher? I think Sludge Belcher is a good play, to be honest.
I think, yeah, Sludge Belcher is fantastic. The thing here is that there's only 1 Shadow Step, so Freeze needs the second one. Once he gets that, he can deal up to 26 damage, but the problem is that the Sunwalker is still up there. So he's going to Wild Peril Equality and clear like that and play a second Sunwalker. I don't like that play.
I don't like that play at all.
is really just gonna grind his bones down. It's just gonna backstab first. He needs. Come on, where is that goddamn Gadget Sun? Where is the Shadow Step? He needs to find stuff like that right now. And he's almost. Wow, it's the last card. The second Gadget Sun is the last card. Are you kidding me? Oh, he just runs one. There's no way he runs one Gadget Sun, right? Oh, did one of the Gadget Sun get discarded? No. Am I right?
No.
Am I wrong?
No. He hasn't drawn to the second one. It's going to be the last one.
Explanation. Why Loveless did that in the previous turn was because he was expecting a Blade Flurry to clear out the Sunwalker, or Eviscerate to clear the Sunwalker, which he is trying very hard to avoid. And he knows that Freeze has got more or less 90% the full combo. It's funny that Freeze does not need Gadget Sun as the last card, and he's now going to Eviscerate. And effectively next turn he's looking at lethal with Leroy Jenkins double Shadow Step. That's 18 with some Cold Blood as well. the taunt is gonna come back. That's gonna be a problem for Freese to deal with. 6, 12, 18. He doesn't have lethal if he saps. He needs to play the Cold Blood, and that is a taunt with Divine Shield. The main reason why he did that, really.
He also is out of preparation, so that's not an option anymore.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Sludge Belcher is probably gonna wreck him right now.
Oh.
I don't think there's gonna be enough for him to get past Sludge Belcher.
He can sap, but that's the last sap.
Yep.
And effectively, holy cow.
Okay, does Freeze have it? I don't think so. He's out of cards. There's a second.
Wow, that is the last Gadget Son. But does he have lethal? That's the question. 6, 12, 18. 18 damage.
With Cold Blood? Was it not enough with Sap?
No, because he sapped. Because he sapped, I don't think
Is he gonna be off by 1 because he has a weapon?
Probably. He's actually just gonna sap again, and there we go. That's the last of his mana. That's gonna deal 6. He needs to find 3, and he doesn't have the 3, so he knows. He knows he's done. He's gonna backstab his own Leroy and call it a day.
Oh,
well done, Loveless. He won that with style.
Yep. So Loveless played into the defense. Unfortunately for Freeze, he got a 404 on the Gadget Son. His very last card was his second Gadget Son. He needed it. He needed the combo much earlier when he didn't have to waste the saps. And unfortunately, it did not come through for him. And
oh, it's just such bad luck. I mean, look at that. Second Gadget Son, one of the most crucial card, down to the last card in the deck. You have to be. This is really every single, trading card game player or card game player's nightmare. Your essential combo maker is the last card in the deck. And the funny thing about Hearthstone is that you don't have the ability to draw the last card in the deck. So, I know that there are some card games like Yu-Gi-Oh! That has got a mechanic. I think I'm just assuming, I'm sorry. But you really want to have those skim through my deck kind of mechanic. Even tracking is good in this kind of instance. But if only he was able to get both the the Drake to survive, he probably would have gotten through the taunt a little bit earlier, and that would have just dealt a little bit more damage. So I really have to commend Loveless on his plays. He was able to make plays that I think I was not able to see the value in, like killing spell damage plus minions, and I was like really I was hoping that he was saving that for Gadget Son, but I think he played a lot of attention to the fact that Freeze doesn't really have much cards left in the deck, and even if Gadget Son come out then the purpose of it would have been really defeated. So that's why he decided to go for the second Warpath Equality, just to take out all the spell damage, and he could tell that there's a lot of spell in the hand. So if there's Leroy Jenkins, he just needs to make sure that he's out of 18 damage health range, as well as the fact that he's got some taunts on the field and to waste, Freeze sap. And really, he also saw that both preparation was being used way early in the game, so he doesn't have that option left. So this is really good card planning skills from Loveless. I am looking forward to his next game. So that's it. Katips, anything to round up this round?
Well, that was pretty, like you said pretty much everything. Loveless played pretty much flawlessly. He started to see patterns, and he got some value where we thought there was none, like the Pyromancer quality to clear out the spell damage and the Blood Mage. So Loveless playing exceptionally well. He got that down to like a science towards the end there. He knew exactly what the Miracle was capable of. So that's some nice matchup experience for him. So yeah, I'd love to see more of Loveless later in this tournament. Hopefully we can see him in the top 8, and looking forward to the next round for sure.
Alright, so we'll be back in just a short while, guys. Thank you for tuning in, and effectively more updates. Just to let you guys know the time schedule. We're going to be back at GMT plus 8 at 3 p.m. for round 4 of the Swiss, hoping that there is no delay this time round. And by 4 p.m. GMT plus 8, we should go with round 4. After that, we go with round 5, and then we go into the top 8 single elimination BO5. So with that said, this is Babael, joining me is Katips. See you guys in a short while.